A colossal python, a living nightmare, drops from the leaves, coiling around a man in a horrifying instant of slow motion. The sickening crunch of bone, screams tearing through the air, chaos erupting as panic consumes everyone. The forest, once a sanctuary, becomes a battlefield. Not just for the humans, but for all its inhabitants. Monkeys shriek, wild boars stampede, birds scatter in a feathered frenzy. Families dive for cover behind ancient trees, their children's cries swallowed by the deafening sounds of a world turning against them. This isn't just a snake attack. It's a declaration of war. The world scrambles to respond. Military convoys tear through dirt roads, helicopters chop the air, and drones swarm like metallic insects. Elite soldiers, armed with the best technology humanity can offer, establish a perimeter. In the distance, medical tents rise like white flags against the green onslaught, doctors preparing for the unthinkable. But inside command centers, screens flicker with heat signatures, tactical maps, and the terrifying, relentless movement of the predator. But this isn't a creature that will be easily contained. As soldiers close in, the python rises, a monstrous tower of rage. Tranquilizer darts bounce off its thick hide. High tensile nets tear like tissue paper. It strikes with primal fury, a force of nature that technology cannot tame. This is a battle between human ingenuity and millions of years of predatory evolution. And then the chilling realization dawns. This isn't an isolated incident. The whispers of chaos turn into a global roar. Across the plains of North America, herds of bison, once symbols of the wild frontier, turn their immense power against us. They charge through fences, splintering wood and twisting metal. They flip cars like toys, stampeding through towns, a tide of horns and fury, reclaiming the land with terrifying force. Ranchers flee, horses scatter, and the very foundation of rural life begins to crumble. The wave of aggression spreads. In Africa, the gentle giants are gentle no more. Elephants, rhinos, and hippos, usually territorial but predictable, become agents of chaos. Villages that have coexisted with wildlife for centuries are now under siege. Tribal hunters, with their ancient knowledge of the land, find themselves fighting alongside modern military units, a desperate alliance against a common yet utterly alien enemy. From the savannas to the riverbanks, the animal kingdom is united in a violent uprising. Even the oceans, our planet's vast, mysterious cradle of life, turn against us. In a display of chilling intelligence, pods of killer whales hunt not for food but for our ships, ramming fishing boats with coordinated, militaristic precision. The world's coastlines become no man's lands as great white sharks swarm the shallows, forcing mass evacuations and turning idyllic beaches into scenes of terror. Coast Guard cutters and naval submarines engage in a bizarre underwater war, their sonar screens painting a picture of a world gone mad. While the world fights, the brightest minds race for an answer. In sterile laboratories, scientists work feverishly. They analyze DNA, scan animal brains, and pore over satellite data, searching for a cause. Is it an environmental collapse we triggered? A sudden shift in the Earth's magnetic poles? A cosmic radiation event from deep space? Or perhaps the awakening of a long-dormant primal instinct? Theories fly, but no one has a definitive answer. The fear of the unknown is almost as paralyzing as the attacks themselves. This fear ripples through our civilization. Cities begin reinforcing old bunkers, preparing for a siege on a global scale. World leaders deliver grim emergency broadcasts, their faces etched with a dawning horror. Social media explodes with panic and speculation. For the first time in modern history, humanity is forced to confront a terrifying possibility that we are no longer the apex species on this planet. Yet, even amidst the chaos, a different idea takes root. Some believe this isn't a war to be won with bullets and bombs, but a message to be understood. Biologists and conservationists, risking everything, attempt to bridge the gap. They use sound frequencies, chemical signals, and patterns of light, trying to communicate, to soothe the rage of the wild. In some isolated pockets, they succeed, creating fragile zones of peace. But in many others they fail, becoming tragic casualties of a language barrier older than humanity itself. And then it returns. The giant python, the alpha predator that started it all, emerges from the jungle one last time. It's the final confrontation. A global task force, representing the last stand of human dominance, faces off against the planet's apex predators. But among them are humans who aren't fighting to conquer, but to protect, to find a different way forward. In the end, as we watch this epic struggle unfold, we're left with a profound and unsettling question. What if this is not an attack, but nature trying to reset the balance? What if this is the Earth's immune system finally fighting back? And if we as a species don't fundamentally change our ways, the next war won't be fought between nations, it will be fought between species. Thank you so much for watching. If this story sparked your imagination, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. We've got a lot more to explore together. See you in the next video.